Yo, 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 what it do? It's your boys, Juice and Lil. We back here with another episode for y'all. Last week we talked about NFL, had some questions. Y'all had some questions for us, and we answered them. Now we're on
hmm
the basketball talk, so we got some questions for y'all. We got some other questions that we're going to answer too. So without further
Uh-huh.
ado, let's go ahead, let's get into it.
Yep. Like you said, first episode, we probably got like near 130 views. Shout out y'all, man, going crazy watching the first episode on the YouTube. We're back with
Uh,
number two. And to get it started off with, we're going to talk about AD, Lakers, and
mhm,
Philly, Braun. How about those two teams? So,
yeah,
but this is also a fan question, too. You know, LeBron's playing without AD right now. He hurt his
right.
Achilles. Joel Embiid's playing without Ben Simmons. He got the flu right now, and Embiid just dropped 50 and 17. I think it was on Friday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He had like
That's
three
crazy.
blocks as well. So he's absolutely balling right now, and LeBron as well. They just played the Heat last night. They didn't win, but we saw him give him his all. I think he had 19 and 9 that
Mhm.
game. But this posed a question from a fan saying,
His all, I don't know if it was his all, but continue.
um, going to the question was, who do you think is more valuable right now? LeBron to the Lakers or Joel Embiid to Philly?
It's hard because when we're thinking about more valuable, I want to think about take those team or take the best players off the team and how do the role players play? Like how does everybody else play without them in the starting lineup? And the most valuable player would be LeBron here, clearly. If
Mm.
you take LeBron out of that lineup, your starting five is Dennis Schroeder, Contavious Caldwell Pope, Alex Caruso, Montrezl Harrell, and Marcus Gasol. Compared to the Sixers, you got
What if you put
Seth.
AD in that lineup
Oh, I didn't know
if
we
he
were
was
adding AD.
healthy?
Or I know we're adding the second best player. If we're adding the second best player, uh, put AD at the five, put Marcus Gasol out.
All right,
Then
the Sixers.
the Sixers, Ben Simmons at the one, Seth at the two, um, Tobias at the three. Who'd be at the four and five? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the Sixers. I wouldn't really know.
Well, you could
I
go
don't know.
for the Sixers. You could go small ball. Probably start Matisse Thybulle, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and the
Probably.
White. Or you could push it down, put Ben
I'll go
Simmons at the
Dwight.
one, push everybody back down one spot. Still Dwight at the five, probably starting without Embiid.
Now, if I'm looking at those two without their best players, I would think the Sixers still have the better team because the Lakers, LeBron has the ball in his hands. He's the point guard, basically. Dennis Schroeder, he cool, but can all of them create their own shots? Because all their points is off LeBron setting them up.
Kuzma
If I'm
was
not
getting after
mistaken,
it. Kuzma
Kuzma
going
is
on.
Kuzma
Kuzma's
is
going off
trash.
lately.
Kuzma is trash. He's
Yeah,
been going off because AD hasn't been playing.
yeah,
If you
that is
put
true.
AD, you can't go down there and give AD the ball every time and expect him to get a bucket because Kyle Kuzma is not going to be consistent. Caldwell Pope not going to be consistent.
Hmm
Dennis Schroeder, he's cool, but not really that guy. You know, um,
Right.
Montrezl Harrell, he can't create his own shot. Marcus Gasol, he can't. He's not what he was before, but he'll hit an open shot, but he's not going to create it. So
hmm
they don't have that guy to create the shots besides Dennis Schroeder a little bit. Ben Simmons, Ben Simmons can take that team. I don't think he can take them somewhere because he can't shoot, but Ben Simmons would do a better job with that Sixers team than AD with that Lakers squad that they got right now. That's why LeBron is more valuable because he can do everything when it comes to basketball. Joel Embiid, he's doing everything he can, but they're in close games a lot. They're in a lot of close games, even when Ben Simmons was playing, and they were losing games. Joel Embiid was scoring a lot of points, and they were losing games still. So, um, LeBron is obviously more valuable to that team because without LeBron, that team would go. And it's been like that in the past for whatever team LeBron has left. Whatever team
Yeah.
LeBron has left that next year, they went into a decline for sure. So it's obviously LeBron here.
Yeah, but the Sixers only have six. Well, they have 10 losses on the year, 4 without Embiid, 2 without Simmons. So
Uh,
when they're healthy, they only have 4 losses when both of them are on the court. But
I don't
like you
know.
said, LeBron or Embiid, who's more valuable? That's close. So something messed up. You see me?
Yeah,
Okay. Like I was saying, I gotta go. In the Eastern Conference, having Embiid is a very valuable asset because I don't think there's a center in the East that could probably stop him. Well, Bam's there,
mm,
but he's undersized a little bit, so he can hold his own a little bit.
yeah,
He's averaging Embiid's averaging 30 and 11 right now.
yeah.
32 PER.
On 54%
So
shooting,
yeah,
that's
and he's
crazy
shooting three ball really good this year for a big man.
for sure.
So he's definitely a valuable player to them because he's also a rim protector as well. And like I said, in the East, there's not a lot of big men who can guard him.
Right.
With the Lakers, take LeBron off the team, Schroeder, Wesley Matthews. This is who I would start. I would start Schroeder, Wesley
I
Matthews,
forgot about Wesley Matthews.
Pope, Anthony Davis, and Marc Gasol. No, that team. I don't know if that team would be better than the Pelicans teams that Anthony Davis had back in the days, but it would be like a
Yeah.
step below. So I don't know if AD would have to do a lot. If he got injured, they would probably their season would be over for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
But I feel like I think I may go with Braun too because his ceiling's higher on the Lakers than without like with Embiid and Ben Simmons. The Sixers, they're this season. People were saying they're title contenders. Possibly, they got to go through Brooklyn, in my opinion,
Hmm.
to get there. But with the Lakers, they don't have Braun, like you said. Their team drastically is out the picture. But if the Sixers don't have Embiid, they still. I feel like they still will lose. They'll be like their ceiling without Embiid would probably be a second round exit. But with Embiid, no, I still think Brooklyn beats them in the conference finals. That's probably their ceiling. I
Okay.
don't think they'll win the championship, but like I said, going back to the Lakers with LeBron, their title or bust with LeBron on the team, just because his ceiling's that high
Right.
at the age he is right now, and he's trying to win some more rings. So with him, the Lakers automatically finals team, title contender. Without
Right.
him, they're probably fringe 8th seed at best. That's their ceiling, in my opinion.
Mm, eighth
So
seed.
you think they make it without Braun?
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid team. Real solid, especially because the West isn't like too hot this year starting out. Like, I'd probably agree. Probably like slide at eighth seed, probably maybe a seventh seed. Nothing too special, but I could see that. But I don't see them going past the first round, whoever they
Okay.
play.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think we're both agreeing with Braun is more valuable to
Yeah.
the Lakers than the Sixers. So it
Yep.
leads us into another question about the Lakers. when AD's health, like we said earlier, he's out with injury, Achilles. Right now, it's saying it's a month. He could be out possibly. That's what they want to hold him out for, a month. It's the same injury possibly that KD had in the finals, but his turnaround time for KD, he turned around real too fast, of course, because he tore it. He tore his Achilles, and like
Right.
2 to 3 weeks later. So, how do you think AD being out could affect the Lakers long term?
It affects them big time. Big time. Without them, without Anthony Davis, they don't get past the second round. They don't get past the second round without Anthony Davis. Um, Now this is a solid team because LeBron is making them a solid team. But there's only so much that he can do. Last night they played us, lost to us. Only by 2 points. LeBron shot really bad though. He shot like 7 for 21, 1 for 8 from three. So he was pretty lucky that everybody like his guys was picking up the slack a little bit. Marcus Gasol, he came to ball. Kyle Kuzma, like you said, he's been balling a little bit. But like I said before too, it's a matter of consistency. Kyle Kuzma, when the spotlight is on him, I don't think like before LeBron came and like that was Kyle Kuzma's team or whatever you could say when it was him, Lonzo, and Brandon Ingram. You could say Kyle Kuzma was probably the best on that team, but I feel like now that you have a guy like LeBron, a superstar, a GOAT on your team, and then you have Anthony Davis as at the end of his career probably going to be maybe the best power forward of all time. You got all this now. You got pressure on you because if you messing up, they're going to get on you about that, and you want to play perfect for them. So that's why I think he's got a lot of pressure on them since LeBron and them came and stuff like that. So I just believe that that team without Anthony Davis is going to struggle based off consistency. That's what it is.
Okay, I see what you're saying. When AD got hurt for me, though, my initial reaction, because they just lost to Brooklyn without him, and KD wasn't playing. I think the Nets gonna win the finals if he's not
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
So you saying they may not even go to the conference finals without AD? You think Bron's beating the I mean, not beating the Clippers or the Nuggets or the Jazz even? Jazz. People saying the Jazz may be like the Atlanta Hawks in 2016. That's kind of or 2015. That's kind of disrespectful.
That's me. Honestly, I think as of right now, I
You
think
gotta
the
remember
Jazz
the
beat the
team
Lakers.
LeBron took to the finals in 2018.
Yeah, I think that 2018 squad was more consistent than the ones now. Like, look at the 2018 squad and look at this squad. I think they had like what Iman,
JR,
Jr., Iman Shumpert, uh,
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver. Shooters. Guys that you can rely on per se.
I think they had Kevin Love still. I think he was playing a little bit.
He was. I think he got hurt that Celtic series. I think that's what it was. Was that year?
No, that was different. Yeah,
That
that
was a
was when
different
they
year.
went to the finals.
Oh, okay,
20
yeah.
2015.
But if I'm taking J.R. Smith or Kentavious Caldwell Pope, who are you taking out of those two?
KCP. KCP. He brings the defense too. He's not the best defender, but he
Okay,
has the
I'll give you
intensity.
that. I'll give you that. The
You
defensive
better
part, I'll give you
pick
that.
JR. You should pull up the clip where JR sold Braun.
Okay, all right, okay. Um, Iman Shumpert or Alex Caruso? I'm taking Iman.
In the playoffs,
The
probably
playoff.
Alex Caruso.
What?
Iman's not. Iman, he's a little overrated for the factor that he does on the court. He doesn't.
Wow.
He plays decent defense, but he's not no Knicks Iman Shumpert no more.
He can hit an open shot,
Cavs. Alex Caruso can do that. Except for last night, he missed the game winner. But
though.
you not see how Alex
I don't
Caruso
know.
played last playoffs though? When
Listen,
his name was called, he showed up.
if the 2018 Cavs played the 2021 Lakers without AD, the 2018 Cavs will win.
I don't know.
That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. Instead of comparing player to player, I'm taking the 2018 Cavs without the over the 2021 Lakers without LeBron. I'm taking that over, like, for sure. LeBron was a menace to society that year. A menace.
Yeah, but people were saying this could possibly be Bron's best year.
This is not his best Bron. This is not the best Bron. This is not the best Bron. It's not even close, in my opinion. It's not.
It's not close.
It's not his best Bron.
He's wiser though.
Yeah, but
his skill level is getting up there.
The only thing that is you could say is better is just 3-point shooting. Yeah, I'm taking 2013 Bron.
I would say efficiency overall is better this year.
You could say that, but I'm taking 2013 Bron, 2018 Bron, 2016 Bron. 2012 Bron. I'm taking those Brons over this Bron.
Basically just named every Bron in the past 7 years.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But I'm taking those 4 LeBrons right there were probably the most dominant we've ever seen. And the playoff runs that 2016 and 2018 Bron went through.
You don't think 2018 Bron didn't have a good playoff run? It's arguably could be one of the best.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was the best, probably one of the best playoff runs ever, probably. So that's why I'm taking those Brons over this one. I'm taking those Brons over this one for sure.
Okay, no, that's not a bad argument. I probably think, in my opinion, I like 2013 Bron. That's when he started getting a lot of his skill involved with his game, and the athleticism was also at all-time peak. But this Bron right now we're witnessing, his efficiency, in my opinion, is definitely getting up there. People were saying he could possibly do 50-40 percentages from field and 3-point. You know, his free throw not going to be there. He never stopped free throws good, but I don't think he'll ever get in the 90 club with like Curry. No. So I don't know how I feel about him being that guy from the free throw line, but anyways. So
actually, he hasn't been shooting the ball from 3 lately good at all. Like, shot 1 for 8 from 3 against us, 1 for 6 against the Nets, and then 1 for 4 against the Timberwolves. That's the past 3 games. That's tough. That is tough. He shot 3 for 18 in 3 games from 3. That's tough.
A little slump. Maybe his back getting a little tired out. Maybe them games we talked about the last podcast about them overtime games.
It probably is.
But moving on now. So the All-Star voters for the All-Star starters came out. All the polls came out. For the East, it was Kyrie, Bradley Beal, Giannis, KD, and Embiid. And for the West, it was Luka. Who was it to? Was it Curry? Luka, Curry,
I think so. Yeah.
Kawhi, LeBron, and Jokic.
Jokic. Yep,
Yeah.
Jokic.
So, do you think there was any snubs this year?
I think we both know who the snub was. It was obviously Damian Lillard. Like it's not even close. Um, they showed something. I think like as to why Luka was voted in over Dame. I think it was because of the fan votes. The fan
Yeah, it
votes picked
was.
Luka over Dame,
Yeah, it
which
was.
is crazy to me. It's actually crazy to me. Like look at the team's success. Damian Lillard is leading his team to an 18-11 record, while the Mavericks are negative and out the playoff picture right now. Luka's playing good
So the
basketball.
Wizards with Bradley Beal, though.
Sort of. I mean, that's what we expected, though. Like we
Is it?
expected.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you were saying the Wizards making the playoffs. You were
At
one of them.
first, I thought that they were going to make the playoffs, but
I I had them low C too, but I think you had them higher C than me.
I had them I had them maybe, I think I had them like six, something like that. I don't know. I was wrong on them, even though it's
Also
not.
wrong about the Rockets.
It's still the Rockets. Yeah. Then again, the Rocket. Oh no, they're 13th. They're 13th in the West. Never mind. I thought they still had a
Yeah.
chance. I mean, they still have a chance, but uh, Wizards are 10-17. The eighth spot is 14-16. Only 4 games behind eighth place. They're on a 4-game win streak right now, so it can continue.
Play the
Um,
Lakers next game.
Play the Lakers. They're kind of in a slump. If they make, I mean, it's looking like if you force LeBron to shoot, you're gonna be fine. It's looking like it.
I mean, I've
Cause
been said that you got forced to beat a LeBron-led team. You got forced LeBron to be the leading scorer, not get any. Don't let anybody else get involved.
yep,
But keep
yep.
going.
But I just think like looking at Dame on the season, 30 points, 44% from the field, 38 from three. With 4 rebounds and about 8 assists and a steal. Looking at Luka, he's putting up 29, 47% shooting, 33% from three, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Now, stats wise, I can see why you put Luka in over Dame. But impact wise, Dame is not even close. Dame, you know what Dame's percentage is in the clutch this season?
Yeah, I know it's something crazy. I know he's. I know in the past, I heard a stat. It was past 7 years. He's no, actually, since he's been drafted, he's number one in clutch points.
In clutch points. And this year alone, he's shooting 63% in the clutch and has 82 points this year alone.
Mm-hmm.
That is that. If that guy isn't in your All-Star starting five, I don't know who is. Honestly, I honestly don't know who would be over that. Like Luka is having great stats, but it's just like the shoot. Like he shoots a lot of points. Like he had 44 against the Trailblazers, 14 for 20. He was hot that game. Pelicans, he had 46 points, shot 30 shots. Like he's shooting consistently. It was just Dame's. It just looks better. Dame. The way he scores, it just looks so much better than Luka. If we're talking about all stars, like you know what I mean. But you can make a case that Luka can be a starter though, based off stats. You can make a case for it, but a lot of people are upset that Dame didn't get it, and I feel them. I feel them. Me personally, I think that Dame should have been a starter, but you can make a case for Luka, just because of how he's playing in the season. He's damn near averaging a triple double. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't really argue that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For me, no, Lillard, I can see why you say that's a snub, I guess. No, I'm not the biggest Lillard fan, but he's definitely a solid
No, I
player.
know. I know.
He's definitely a talented player, though. But, I mean, I think the committee may have got this one right. No, he's only averaging one more point than Luka. His team record is better, but I don't think team record plays a factor in All-Star selection voters, honestly. Because Trae Young last year started in the East, and his team was like 14th at the time. So, and Bradley Beal this year, I mean, they're on a win streak, yeah. Possibly could be 5 games next time they play a struggling Lakers team, like you said. But Bradley Beal, he's number 1 in points, and he's shooting good, highly efficient. So Damian Lillard, they just lost to the Wizards actually last night. Well, Russ torched them too. Russ actually played really good last night. He shot 11 for 17, and the triple double had 27, 13 boards, 11 assists. But Dame, on the other hand, shot 10 for 30.
10 for 30. 7 for 17 from 3.
Without that third, I think he had 33 points in one quarter. Without that quarter, what is it? That's 7 points on the game. Probably a horrendous shooting stats too.
Yeah.
But people are gonna overlook how Westbrook played good just because he's Westbrook. Over Damian Lillard's 23 in one quarter and still lost the game. But I wanna look at the East with a possible snub. This may be a reach, but Julius Randle could have been a starter possibly this year.
I agree.
The Knicks are in the playoffs because of him mostly. They're the 6th seed right now, or 8? No, they're 8th seed.
They're 8th seed.
But they could be 6th seed in the game.
Who's in the I think was Sabonis in the lineup?
No, I was gonna say he would have to replace Giannis in my opinion, but that would not happen. Even though the Bucks, they're struggling a little bit, 5-5 in their past 10 games, and not playing. They were just on a 5-game losing streak, but they won their last game, so they're the 3rd seed right now. But without Drew Holiday, I think he has COVID right now. Without him, they've been struggling, like I said. And Giannis, he's trying to carry the load as much as he can. Stat-wise, you can say Giannis, of course. He's always going to average like 13 boards, 27 points. But Julius Randle, without him on the Knicks, they're probably bottom, probably the worst team in the East, at least, down there with Detroit, 8 wins.
Yeah. Probably.
He also isn't he averaging more boards than Anthony Davis this year?
Yeah.
So there's a case possibly for Julius Randle. That's probably the only snub I see in any lineups. I see Damian Lillard, like y'all said. People were saying he's possibly MVP as of right now. I don't know about that. That could be a little bit of stretch.
Top 5 for sure.
Yeah, he probably is top 5, but I don't think it's too far off giving Luka that spot, in my opinion. But people probably call me hater because I like the Thunder, but
yeah.
So it is what it is, though. It's gonna
be
an interesting All-Star game.
With Dame, back to that point you said against the Wizards, though, and we're going to be talking about Melo in a second, but I want to talk about him. Last night, that same game, he played 25 minutes, but got 7 points and 2 for 10 from the field and 2 for 6 from 3.
Who, Melo?
Yeah.
Why are you talking about him?
Because, I see Dame, he probably got torched by Russ, but there's only so much a man could do in a game. Like,
Yeah.
where's my help? Where's my help? You know, so it's just
Gary
like
Trent Jr. been playing good
he
without
has
CJ McCollum.
without CJ. Yeah, he has been playing. He's been balling for sure, but he just needs some help. Dame just needs more help. That's what it is. They need to go out because Melo's almost.
I think he's 36,
He's
35.
36, so he's almost out the door. He thinks he can play still. I mean, he can play still. Like, uh, he'll give you 20. He'll give you 20. He can give you 20. But the efficiency is him, like his shooting percentages. For him to get 20, he'd probably have to shoot 22 shots, knowing Melo. So it's like
Starting to
you
shoot the
don't gotta
three
be
ball though more this era.
yeah, he's starting
Not the
to. I mean, he
best
has
though.
to. He kind
Yeah.
of has to shoot the three. That's the modern day NBA now. But I feel like they
Hmm.
need to go out, either get free agent or draft that next small forward, like that guy. I don't know what small forwards are gonna come out the draft, but you need to go out and you need to scout some young
That's
small
the
forwards that could be solid.
that's the thing though. They'll never be in that position to draft that high because Damian Lillard's still there,
Yeah,
and he's gonna keep them
yeah.
head above water at all times.
So if that's the case, then they need a free agent star. Melo,
Who's
I
gonna want to
know
go to
he doesn't
Portland?
want to play off the. Yeah, yeah. Like it's not really
It's
the
a
best
small
place
market team.
somebody would want to go. Yeah. So, but it's just like Melo, he's solid, but I know he doesn't want to be come off the bench. But I think it's best for him at this day and age. Uh, just because he's not like moving like how he was before, obviously, because he's getting older. But defensive wise, not just offensively, defensively, I wouldn't say he's like a liability, but it's like he's not playing as he should be in this era, especially in this era when power forwards, like you got people like KD playing power forward, or Giannis at power forward. You got all these monster guys, so you kind of gotta look at Melo and be like, yeah, can he really play with these guys? Like starting, I don't know. I feel like they need to look at benching Melo a little bit. I think that was one of our questions too. Is Melo washed? Is
Yeah, it
Melo washed?
was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say washed. Oh yeah, he's
He's not
washed.
himself.
He's not
Of course, he's
himself.
not
Like
himself. He's
there's
from that
games where
'03 draft.
yeah, like there's games where he can get you 22 points. I forgot who he did it against, but it was recent. He got like 22 points, and then after that got like
He had like 14 fourth quarter points that game.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So let me see. Okay, there was a stretch he had February 2nd against the Wizards, 21 points, 8 for 16 shooting. The next game against the Sixers, 22 points, 8 for 14. After that, played the Knicks, only got 2 points on 1 for 8 shooting. Came back the next game against the Magic, 23 points, 76ers again, 24 points, Cavs, 23 points, Mavericks, 15, Thunder, 10, Pelicans, 12, Wizards, 7. So it went from good shooting and then it was slowly taking a decline throughout the games. So it's like he can be that solid player for you, but
Hmm.
he has to stay consistent though. And if he's not consistent, then he's a liability. So he's not washed because he can still do things for you, like clearly. But he's still 36. He's not going to be the Denver Mellow or New York Mellow. So you can't really call him washed if he's still out here. He's averaging 13 points, uh, on 39% shooting, 37 from three, 3 rebounds and 1 assist. Like, that's pretty solid. This is solid for somebody his age and that caliber of a player with the team that he's on with two people are taking majority of the shots. So that's not really bad. So I wouldn't really say he's washed. I wouldn't really say he's washed. He's just probably in a shooting slump right now. Everybody gets one. He's just probably in a slump.
Hmm. Yeah, like you said about, I don't think he'll ever be that same Melo again, in my opinion, because most of those players in the '03 draft, besides the great LeBron, is still playing. But he's definitely on the recline sooner rather than later. And like you said, he's playing with two other people who need the ball to score. I think they should look to move one of the two soon if they want to compete for a title ever anytime soon.
Definitely not getting
But
rid
I
of
doubt,
Dame. So it's probably gonna be CJ.
yeah, I doubt they'll do that though.
Yeah,
So they're gonna be stuck in no man's land almost for a while unless they
yeah,
get Dame some help. Because I
yeah.
doubt you said get free agency help, but I doubt anybody's gonna want to go to Portland.
Nah, nah.
Besides, Ennis Cancer, he went bad there. But, and then they lost Hassan. I think that was a. I mean, they got Ennis Canner, but they probably needed a rim protector more than a rebounder type big. Because
Yeah,
Nurkic, he's not really a. He's on and off the court, and he's not really a rim protector either. So that's why I
yeah.
go with him. But enough about the Blazers. Now,
Mm.
there's a better team we can talk about. The New York Knicks. Getting some love, man. Y'all having a good year. 8th seed.
Yeah.
Do you think they will make playoffs?
Now you got a couple teams who are outside looking in, only 1 or 2 games behind that can possibly make the playoffs. Bulls can make a run. Heat making a run, they can make a run, and the Hawks can make a run. Those are the 3 teams that are outside looking in that can still make the playoffs, in my opinion. And you also got the Hornets who are negative, but at the 7th spot at 14 and 15, and you got the Knicks at 8th at 14 and 16. Um, the Knicks are playing real good basketball, really good
Mm,
basketball.
for their caliber. They
I
just lost Mitchell Robinson now for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, in that span of time, they're going to lose a lot of games. I feel.
They had a lot
I
of postponed games too.
That too. I don't see them making. I don't see them making the playoffs. As great as they're playing, but this is a step though. This year's a step in the right direction for sure. Uh, they brought D Rose back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brought D
Yeah,
Rose back. He immediately had an impact. This is just a step in the right direction though. They've had too many bad years. This year they're winning games. They're doing something right. So if they just stick with that, go off season, get better, come back next year, I think they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to
giving
be a
them
playoff
next
team
year.
next year. Yeah, I'll give them next year. But unless
Mm.
they go on a run right now, for them to be certified in the playoff spot, I think their next 10 games, they'd have to win 7.
Mm.
They'd have to win 7 of the next 10 games for them to be certified playoff spot. Because it's only 72 games, right?
Yep, this year.
So 7-3 the next 10 games, that would move them to 21 and 19. I feel like in the East that could be manageable as a record that for a playoff team. Um, because you got the Bulls are on fire right now. Zach LaVine is hot. Uh, Jimmy Butler said that they are going to make the playoffs. We'll get into that a little bit later. And the Hawks, Trae Young, I see they could probably go on a late run. I feel like the Hawks this year can be the Suns last year. They're gonna go on a run, but probably it depends on that last game if they make it or not. That's what I think.
Don't forget, there'll still be a play-in between the 8, 9, and 10 seed this year.
Yeah, yeah, there is a play in
Well, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think.
79. Yeah, so there's gonna be a play in, but I feel like the Hawks like they can make a late push, but as of right now, no. But the Knicks, they can be good. They're looking good. Obi Toppin was a bad pick, in my opinion. But your boy,
Can't give my man's time to develop.
I mean,
But I
I
understand.
don't know. It was he had a lot of hype, and he said he's going to do a lot of things that he's not doing for this organization. So yeah, but your boy Emmanuel quickly, that was a great pickup. That was a great pickup. Now imagine if they got when did Tyrese Maxey go? When did Obi Toppin go?
8th. Should have got
Eighth.
Tyrese Halliburton.
That's what I meant. Halliburton, not Maxey. If they got Halliburton and quickly, and
Be a good guard
that
duo.
would be a good guard for sure.
That's
They
if
would be
Tom Thibodeau
solid.
played them.
Yeah,
He
they
doesn't
would be
play
so
quickly like
solid.
that. Plays them often though. He's starting to get more minutes.
Yeah.
But with him coming in, I mean, well, D Rose coming in, I think that stunt a lot
Oh yeah.
potential.
Oh yeah.
I think they should try to move Alfred Payton since they got D Rose now. But
Dang, not
if they
Frank.
got Frank, I forgot about him. I don't think he even gets in the rotation right now. I think he may be in the G League too. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's I think they need a they need to move Payton or someone else. Obi Toppin, Obi Toppin. Like I said, no, I felt like the Knicks should draft Tyrese Halliburton on draft day. Me and Stephen A. At least that would have
Yeah.
been a good pick. That could have been the point guard for the future. I don't know how he would develop. Honestly, I think he would develop better if he started because right now he's coming off the bench in Sacramento. He only has a usage rating of 16.1, which is 11th on their team. That means he's getting the ball almost 11 most times, and he's putting up numbers like he's putting up 12, 5, almost 6 assists, 3 rebounds, and he's shooting 48% from three right now and 50% from the field. So he's balling in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But like you said, for the record, they're making the playoffs. Their next 7 games? They play Minnesota tonight. That could be a win. Play Golden State Tuesday. Play Sacramento. Then they play Indiana. Then they play Detroit. Then they play Spurs. And Detroit again. So they could
Winnable
definitely.
games.
All
Winnable
of them, in
games.
my opinion, are winnable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I think they may go like I have them going 4-3 or 5-2, possibly. I think
Okay.
5-2 is their best. Their worst, probably 2-5, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But Knicks, I think they'll make playoffs. I know some Knicks fans out there.
Ooh. Yep. Yep.
Mm, nah, I don't think they make it this year. I don't
Mm.
think they make it. They still have y'all, the Miami Heat, who could possibly make it.
Yeah.
Atlanta, I'm actually disappointed in Atlanta.
I
They're
expected
not
better.
having the best. I mean, I know Bogdanovic has not been healthy,
Yeah.
and they just lost what's his name, DeAndre Hunter. They lost him for a good
Yeah.
amount of time, so maybe that's why. But Clint Capella's having a great year. John Collins too. Trae Young's he's getting better. but they need defense. They don't really have that at the guard position. Neither is backup. Rondo's doing all right. No, Rondo doesn't really do nothing in the playoff. I mean, regular season till the playoffs come around, but they got
Yeah,
to
we
get to the
gotta get
playoffs
there
first.
though. Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about the Knicks making it over the Heat. That's probably the team stopping me from putting them in. The Hornets, they could lose out. I don't know. It would be interesting when Mel's in the playoffs and Alonzo isn't. I think that would be an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have the Bulls, like you said. I don't really believe in the Bulls, but Zach LaVine is balling right now, putting up great numbers. Do you think he's an all-star? You think he'll make all-star team?
Zach LaVine, yes, for sure,
Yeah,
most
yeah,
definitely.
I agree. I agree. I think he gets in there this year, but he's definitely been balling. A hot spot for the Bulls. They need to get some talent around them.
Yeah.
They're up and down team. They should be better than what they are right now, in my opinion. Then, like I said, the Hornets, that'll be interesting. They get in. They have Devontae Graham, Terry Rozier, who's been balling this year. Melo Ball. They're a solid team. Oh yeah, Gordon Hayward too, having a great year. So they're definitely an interesting team to look at as well.
Okay.
They could the Magic. That may be a reach. The Wizards too. The Wizards are streaking though, like we said earlier. But I don't know if they make playoffs over the Heat and Hawks at least. Maybe even the Bulls this year they get in. But for the Knicks, I'd probably say give them next year maybe. I don't know how far. If they drop far enough to have a good pick, they need to draft. They need to stop drafting forwards. That's their problem. They always draft forwards. Too
That's
many
fact.
damn forwards on that team. Need a guard. Need a star guard. They're a star away, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
from making playoffs. I don't know. Maybe if they want to make playoffs, like is that their goal for next year? Try trading.
Yeah.
Probably get a guard like get a CJ McCollum maybe if he on the block. Russell
Mm.
Westbrook, Bradley Beal. They want to move on from those pieces, or possibly maybe even what's his name? What's his name? Dame. Maybe Dame. I don't know. If the Blazers think it's time, they could blow it up in the next 3 years. But the Knicks, in my opinion, they're star guard away from making playoffs.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
How you feel about Kyle Lowry?
He's not leaving the Raptors. Not for the Knicks.
Okay. I mean, all right.
He's having a
That
good
could
year.
probably that could probably be that guy. That
Nah,
leadership. I don't know. Possibly, but
nah.
yeah.
He's not gonna leave the Raptors. Not free willingly, at least leave the Raptors. They have to
Yeah.
trade him.
Yeah.
Next question. Talk about y'all, Miami.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna make the playoffs this year, huh?
In recent interviews, Jimmy Butler was asked if they're going to make the playoffs, and he basically put it into he spoke it into existence and said we're going to make the playoffs. Do I believe so? Yeah, obviously as a fan, I believe so. But watching our games, there's so many games that we could have won but didn't finish out. That's
Mm.
our one thing that we do wrong. We get up, we get a lead, but we can't hold it. We can never hold the lead. Uh, against the Warriors, we were up on them the whole game. Oh, not I wouldn't say a blowout, but we were up a good amount to the point where we should be good for the next 4 minutes. We were up almost 20 with 4 minutes left. We end up going into overtime and we lose. We can't finish out games. That's the one thing. If we can finish out games, one thing is Kelly Olynyk. That's one of the problems. Kelly
Kelly Olynyk.
Olynyk, you can either get a good shooting performance, or he's gonna go out and think he's Steph Curry. Is you either get one of the two. Well, Kelly Olynyk, one thing is if we're up, he doesn't like use time management. He goes out there, he chucks up something. I'm like, bro, can we chill? We got a 10-point lead with 2 minutes left. We don't need that shot. Let's just try and chill. Let's get to the free throw line, get the ball in Jimmy's hands, let him do his thing. Let him get to the free throw line. That's another thing with people. People say, oh, Jimmy shoots like 10 free throws a game. This and that's where the majority of his points from. He's a slasher. What you expect him to do? That's like saying Steph Curry can't shoot or is not allowed to shoot.
Jimmy can shoot mid range. It's very good
He can
mid range
shoot.
score.
He can shoot a mid range and he can drive. But how you gonna get mad at him for doing what he does best? Is slash. Is get to the paint. People say, "Oh well, the refs are always on your side." No, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that. No. Why would refs in Golden State be on our side? What sense does that make? None. So you can't get mad when Bam goes to the free throw line and majority of his shots come in the paint, and when Jimmy gets to the free throw line when majority of his shots go to the paint. Only people that you see not shooting free throws a lot is Tyler Hero. Well, a little bit, but Tyler Hero because he's a shooter. Duncan, shooter. Goran Dragic. You can see him going to the line a little bit, but he's been out though. That's another thing. Injuries has been killing us all year. Somebody comes back, another person goes out. It's like they're like picking and
COVID.
choosing. Yeah, either COVID or just injuries and in general. Like we didn't have Jimmy for a month.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have Jimmy for a month. If Jimmy's there those months, we're probably in the playoffs right now, or we're in a spot right now. Probably like 6, 7. But still, it's like, and then we missed Tyler Hero for a couple games. Tyler Hero didn't even play last night. Goran didn't play last night. Oh, I think Tyler Hero did play, but I think he left early, something like that. I was at work, so I couldn't really pay full attention to the game. But so we're missing key players that matter. Everybody like, oh, Tyler Hero's in the fact that he's like our second leading scorer.
Yeah, he is having a good year scoring.
What are we talking about? Tyler Hero's not a factor. Like, well, it doesn't matter. So us losing them is big on us because we're just going through a lot right now. But I feel like we've been like this. It was like this last year when nobody thought we were doing anything, but we came back and we did something. So, and that last year title run was not a fluke. I'm tired of people hitting me
I
up
think it
saying,
was.
"Bro, I'm
Wasn't
tired of
like it.
people hitting me up saying, hey, bro, yo, it was a fluke, this, and that. Y'all suck. Yeah, you see what happens when y'all, come down to reality, all that other stuff." I'm like, bro, basketball is a game of runs, right? And momentum. People get momentum. Why? Fans. Hit 1 3, the fans are probably a big factor in momentum. So without fans, it proves who can actually play basketball. Our healthy squad, we had a healthy squad all throughout the playoffs. That's why we made the finals. This year, I don't think we've
Until y'all
had
got to the
over,
finals, they disappeared. That health.
man. But this year, I don't think, I'm not exactly sure, but I don't think we've had over 5 games where we've had all our guys healthy. All our guys healthy. I don't think we've had that. So, like, you can't pull the fluke card when we're hurt all year. I believe we're making the playoffs. I believe we're making the playoffs. Do I see us going
Fair.
far? I see us going far? Nah, I mean, say we make like a 7th seed, we'd have to play the Nets. If we made an 8th seed, play the Sixers. I mean, I like our chances to get the Sixers, kind of, because us and the Sixers, we always, it's up, it's in between. Jimmy would love to play the Sixers. So, um, or if we make the sixth seed, we probably have to play the Bucks. If we make the fifth, we play the Celtics. No matter where we go, that first through fourth seed is going to be definitely a tough one for sure. I don't see us getting above five. So 1 through 4 is we definitely have to be prepared for if we make it. But I believe we're gonna make it.
It's fair argument. Yeah, I think y'all make it too, but I I definitely do think that playoff run last year was a little flukish, but y'all definitely gonna make it just because the culture y'all have around the team. Eric Spoelstra now he's probably top 5 best coaches in the game right now, or been in the game probably the last decade as well.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Butler's a great leader, like you said. And Bam, he's gotten way better this year as well. Tyler
Mm-hmm.
Hero, he's starting to score a lot. No Duncan's still shooting. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
still a piece away from winning a title, in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's another star.
for sure.
But this year, y'all gonna make playoffs. I don't know how far y'all gonna go. Depends if there's a bubble. If there's a bubble, anything goes. But like
Man,
Kyrie said, I don't think there's four. I don't think a team's gonna beat them 4 times out of 7. It's gonna be tough to beat them Nets. They're on pace to be
yep.
the probably one of the worst defensive teams though, but probably have the best
That's the
offensive
reason.
teams.
That's the reason they don't go far, or they don't win a title. It's because of their defense.
Yeah,
Like
of
that's gonna
course.
be the sole reason. Teams, in order to beat the Nets, you gotta score back with them. If they score, you gotta score right back. It don't matter if it's 2 or 3. If you get into the free throw line,
Yeah,
you
it's gonna
just
be
gotta
hard
keep up. You just
to
gotta
score
keep
with the
up.
Nets.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
the Nets are
hard.
on pace to have the best offense of all time.
I wonder. Well, you got the 3 best unguardable scorers on one team. Like I would be disappointed if they weren't. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and then talk about how the other teams in the East, Celtics, they still got some stuff to figure out. Talk about next time.
Yeah,
Then you have the Sixers, who are absolutely killing it with Joel
yeah,
Embiid and Ben Simmons and their team.
for sure.
Bucks, they're up and down. They need Drew Holiday, in my opinion.
Most definitely.
But I think y'all in the Bucks series, that's always a good one. If that happened again,
Yeah,
y'all probably could take them, possibly, if y'all
that
healthy at
Bucks
least.
team isn't the same from last year.
Oh yeah,
So,
for sure. They got, especially when Drew playing, and
hmm
Middleton's doing a lot more. He's getting the ball more in space than
yeah,
he has in the previous years. But
yeah.
y'all definitely should make playoffs. One last thing before we go, we're gonna talk about Boogie Cousins. Just
Right.
got released. Rockets. He was averaging 9 and 7, but they felt like that wasn't good enough, so they
Yeah,
let him
Christian Wood
go.
had all the touches.
Well, he's hurt. He's hurt for like 4 or 6 weeks too. Well, he's week to. It says he's
Ah,
week to
yeah, yeah,
week with
yeah,
an
yeah,
ankle. He's week to week with an ankle injury, so I don't know. He's just they're updating him every week now and then. So,
yeah.
who you think? You think Boogie will get
Um,
re-signed this year, or
there's a couple places. Nets or Lakers. Nets need a big man. Don't have to be a good
dearly?
big. It don't even have to be a big man. Just if you above
Just
six
got
ten,
Roberson.
I made no sense to me honestly. But
Need perimeter defense.
I mean, if you if you over 6'10", you go to the Nets. The Nets are probably gonna pick you up. It don't even matter if you a scrub or not. They just need a tall dude in the paint. put their hands up on somebody. Now, do I think Boogie will go there based off his comments on Harden? No, I don't see that.
That's true.
I don't see it.
True.
Um, and the other team was the Lakers. Now, Marc Gasol, Harold, AD, Boogie going back would probably play that role like how he was when he was with them before. He was hurt with them, but I don't see him getting a lot of minutes for real. I don't see him getting a lot of minutes. Now,
Mm-hmm.
teams that maybe can go for them, Celtics. Celtics need a big man. And they've had a big man trouble for a long time, actually. So we can see. Um, I don't want to say Heat, but me personally, I would like to see that because I don't like. I like Bam at the five. I think I want Bam to play the four, honestly, because he can play perimeter D. Bam can play the perimeter, so he can guard guys like Giannis at the top of the key.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got guys going back door, like bigger dudes going back door and stuff like that, and no big dude in the paint to disrupt that, there's not much you can do with Bam out there. So I would like to see that move Bam to the power forward just so we can have that big body presence in the paint. But the team that I would see probably the most is the Celtics. The Celtics for sure. That's probably the only team I can think of that would really desperately need one. So
Mm.
I don't know.
It's fair.
Or he can go Wizards. They lost Thomas Bryant, why not? Russ, Bradley, Beal, and Boogie. Hey, I mean, hey. But my number one is the Celtics. My number one.
You know, yeah, that was mine too. But I was thinking about another team popped in my mind. He could go back home to the Pelicans. They could move on if he
Mm.
shows enough there. No, Steven Adams, it's not best to put him next to Zion because then you gotta share the paint with him. But if they were able to move Steven Adams and if Boogie was able to somewhat get his skill level back up to where it was, he could be a nice starter there because he
Yeah.
can space the floor for Zion. He's an underrated passer for a big man as well. He was making a lot of passes before even Jokic came along. It's the bonuses of the world. He back in the day with the Kings.
Right.
So he was making those passes too. So I think the Pelicans would be definitely an interesting one if he could ever like regain his strength back to where he was before the injury. But the Celtics, that's a good place for what they're trying to win now. If he wants to win now. I was thinking the Nets too, but you made me realize, Harden was on that team unless he put that beef aside because how he'd be switching up. Like he went to the Warriors. They had a big five. Well, they
Yeah.
got hurt, but so I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know what his hearts and minds focus on right now. So it's crazy because they just gave him a 2.3 million guaranteed, and then like the next day later they got rid of him.
Yep.
So
It's crazy to me.
it's
And
crazy
that
how the
whole
NBA works.
small ball lineup is just it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
For
Because that's
who?
small for the Rockets. They
Uh,
moving on from him to try to go small ball. I'm like, that's gotten you nowhere for the past like 5 years. Like, what do you keep on trying that for? Like, I don't see them going anywhere running this. I think this team was fine, and they were like just getting their chemistry together. They were just getting their
right.
chemistry together. But
I know John Wall probably not happy.
I know he's not. I know he's not for sure. But we're going to have to see how this goes. Who would they even play? Like PJ Tucker at the 5? What are they doing?
I mean, when Christian Wood come back, they probably play him at the 5 now.
Well, when Christian Wood come back, he's gonna be at the 5. But as of right now, your 5 is looking like PJ Tucker. That's crazy to
Yeah.
me. That's so crazy to me. Honestly, I'm playing Christian Wood and Boogie at the 4 and the 5. Getting PJ come off the bench. Or play the 3. PJ can possibly play the 3, John Wall, Victor Oladipo, PJ, Christian Wood, Boogie. That's a defensive juggernaut of a starting lineup.
Yeah. Right now, they're running. Well, if they were healthy, they would run John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Jashawn Tate, PJ Tucker, and Christian Wood. But
I guess that's solid too. I guess that's solid.
solid. But that's it
Yep.
for this podcast.
Yes, sir. That's gonna
Episode
wrap it
number
up.
2.
Yes, sir. Next episode, we're gonna be back on the football talks. We're gonna get some questions for y'all. We're gonna talk about some stuff, free agency moves, more. Lots been going on, but we're
Still
gonna
have
see
some
how it
fan
goes.
questions to answer.
Get some more fan questions. We're gonna see how it goes. But until then, it's your boys Juice and Lou, and we out of here. Peace.
Peace.